One of the things worth remembering when we read the Old Testament is that Jesus is the ultimate revelation of God. And so some of these laws seem pretty weird because they are a little bit strange to us today. And always I find it helpful to read the Old Testament through the lenses of the New Testament, to, as it were, put Jesus' glasses on and read everything in that regard. And so you see in this instance, people being, for example, stoned to death for one reason or another. And ultimately, it's remembering that Jesus took death on himself, that God took death on himself to finally deal with humanity's brokenness and stuff like that. And the other thing is, I find it a little bit of a relief that parents are no longer allowed to stone their children to death, because I'm not sure I would have made it past my teenage years if that had happened. But as we try and draw out a point for application for us today, what can we draw out? Again, I just want to point to the thing about the unsolved murder. That's an interesting thing. It's a bit like a Cluedo game or something like that. If you happen to not know who killed Colonel Mustard in the library with the torch or whatever it is, this is what you do. And one of the things that strikes me about this is the seriousness with which they are to take a body that they found lying in a field. We can sometimes think of those times as slightly barbaric, but you know, if you find a body lying in a field, they don't just drag it off into a ditch and think, oh, well, people get killed all the time. What they do is they take a cow, they get all the elders of the town together, they all lay hands on it, they offer this sacrifice, that they say, we're not guilty of this particular sin. And there's a real seriousness to the ceremony and an expense to it as well. To kill a cow, that's not, there's no small thing in those days. And so what that shows is that God really takes life very, very seriously, just as he takes death very, very seriously, or the loss of life. And for us, that about God, the fact that he takes life, he values life, and it's a serious thing before him when anyone loses a life. That's something that really is worth allowing that to soak into our minds and our DNA, particularly as we look around and we see the world that we live in at the moment, where we have people who are dying with the Ebola crisis that's going on in Africa. There are the things that are going on that have been going on for many years. People dying from lack of water, people dying from lack of basic sanitation and healthcare. All of these things that are in many ways crippling our world. The campaign that's going on at the moment to try and end hunger in the UK. All of those things can only be good. God takes life very, very seriously, and he takes a loss of life incredibly seriously. And for us, it's choosing to do the same thing as much as we can today. I love that I worship a God who thinks life is so sacred.